Up the units.
Up your units.
I think we got the message in the chat that we are live. It is the big game pregame, and it is presented by our great friends at Connie's Frozen Pizza, the official pizza of the Waddle and Silvy show. I got some in the freezer. I got to get that going for later. By your local Chicagoland Toyota dealers, and of course DraftKings. I've got like 25 bets in for every odds boost out there. I basically have taken. Waddle is here. Chris Black is here. Adam Abdallah is here, and we will be joined by all of our favorites from ESPN 1000 and Barstool Big Cat and Jay Cutler are going to be joining us soon. Hello, boys! Happy Super Bowl Sunday.
Hello.
Well, the best days of the year, right?
I'm usually waiting for you guys to pull into my driveway, but not this year.
This is when Fred usually shows up at this time, right?
Yeah, Fred usually is walking up the driveway. Joe McCardle is usually right behind him, and then a flurry of my daughter's friends, but none of that this year. None of it.
So for those who haven't followed, like a lot of people who work at our radio station, because they keep texting you saying, hey, why didn't I get invited? Hey, have fun at your Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
Let everyone know, for those who missed it on the show, why there is no Super Bowl party. This second year in a row, no Super Bowl party.
Well, it's a little something called a pandemic, I think would be, part of it. I'm fine throwing a super spreader, but I didn't want it selfishly to affect my travel week from Wednesday. So I didn't want to not be able to leave the state or not be able to go to sunny Florida if, in fact, I had an illness. So selfishly, I said no go for all of you guys. But, yeah, I mean, look, I would have still had it if I wasn't traveling. It was just, look, if you come in, just, buyer beware. That's all. I think that's a safe policy, isn't it? Buyer beware.
So this is basically
so.
This is
So are you
basically
leaving the door open for us to come over? Is that what? Buyer beware?
No, I said if the party was on, like if the party was on and you come in and you're dirty and like you catch, Omicron, don't call me and say, hey, Waddle, you're a bad dude for having a party. You showed up.
Right.
So, but I didn't want to.
We're calling it now. You're dirty. When you're dirty, you got COVID.
Science, Chris. That's science. That's Waddle science.
Dirty.
I'm dirty, sick. I know, I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just saying, like, if you've got an issue and you come into the house, forget it. There's no party. How about that?
Yeah.
There's no party.
It's basically it's guilt, is what you're saying. Like you just don't want to be feeling guilty, or because you don't want to ruin your travel plans. I guess it's not guilt.
No, it's not.
So it's not guilt.
It's selfishness. I'm being honest. I mean, it's selfishness. Like, I think we've gotten to the point now where I could call my doctor friend, Dr. Bauer, and he'd probably give me the thumbs up for, a smaller gathering, but we decided against it. So, sorry. I'm hungover too right now.
What'd you have going last night?
I just went to dinner with some old friends, and I think I drank an entire barrel of wine the last 2 nights.
Way to get it done.
So I'm struggling right now.
No, you're not. You're a pro.
A little bit. Struggling a little bit. Look who that is. Is that the one and only Big Cat? Oh, he looks
a ponytail going. He's doing the Frozen thing.
Hey guys,
I know you. I know you too well now. What's up?
How do I look? How do I sound? I feel great. Super Bowl Sunday. Let's do it.
Are you in LA?
I'm in Louisiana now.
Wow.
So yes, you are in LA.
I am in LA. Yes.
Good call, Waddle.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been a long week, and we got to Louisiana last night, so we're in Louisiana now. I'm everywhere.
You're like a rock star, with your travel. It's incredible.
Minus the women, the drugs, the fun, everything.
The star part.
All the cool part. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Look who's on his rocking chair. on his front porch.
That looks so good.
Sitting out here.
Oh,
Sunday.
Where's
go and play Troubadour Club.
fancy?
what's that about? What
Land thing. So I don't know. People hanging out. You know.
Waddle, that's what retirement looks like right there.
Yeah, I know.
That's what retirement.
Big Cat, what are you in? You said you're in New Orleans?
I'm in Louisiana, Lake Charles.
Why?
We just sports betting in Louisiana just went legal, and then we have a property in Lake Charles. It's actually nice, really, really nice. But yeah, I'm in Lake Charles. I want to be home. I wish I were home.
Who are you with?
The whole crew. We have like 20 of us here. We're doing a big Super Bowl watch party.
Gambling
on everything. I'm already 0-1 today, and it's 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. So
what'd you bet on this morning?
The UConn St. John's first half over. Not good.
On everything. Literally
It's Super Bowl Sunday. Hey Jay, I told the story on these guys' show a couple weeks ago. Do you remember when I accidentally texted you like bets I wanted to put in on St. Patrick's Day when I was blackout drunk like 10 years ago?
Yes.
Yes. So they asked, like, have you ever texted someone by accident? And I was like, yes, actually I have. And it sucked. I was very embarrassed.
How
So he remembers that.
Who you taking in the big game?
All right. I want to actually talk about this with you guys because I'm struggling right now.
Yeah.
I've
Doesn't
liked the Bengals all week. I'm starting to have big time second guessing myself and being like, what am I doing? Is this stupid? Are the Rams just that much better? And I'm blinded by Joe Burrow. So help me out.
I've said the Rams by a billion all week. I don't see how, unless, an act of God happened and, Matt Stafford decides that he's going to throw 4 picks and
which just happened.
The Bengals offensive line has the greatest performance of their lives and stops those animals up front. Like, I just don't see how it's going to happen for them.
Don't you have to look at this game and say, look, this is my hometown team. I hope they win. I'll cheer for them. My money's on the Rams. But, like, this Bengals team is fortunate. Again, take nothing from them. They were fortunate to get past Tennessee after getting sacked 9 times, Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
It felt like Patrick Mahomes played the worst game superstars ever played in the second half of the KC game. That had to happen for the Bengals to advance. So many things have had to happen for them to get there, which I appreciate. But can luck strike a third time? Because if you go down the list, the Rams are a significantly better team, aren't they? I mean,
yes.
If you go 53.
Like you said, so many things have went well. They've beaten the odds so many times, like drastically. At some point, I think the universe has to be like, all right, enough's enough. Like, here are the odds. This is what's going to happen. And come back down to earth.
Okay, here's what I'll throw out there. And Jay and Waddle, you tell me, because this is probably a stupid thought, but it sounds smart in my head when I say it to myself. Everyone knows the Bengals can't block the Rams. Everyone knows that. Do something completely like you saw it. They gave up 9 sacks at the Titans. Next game, they gave up 1 sack to the Chiefs. Titans defense better than Chiefs. I agree with that, but they're going to have to do something. Like they're not going to be able to run the ball. They know they can't have 7-step drops. They're going to have to just game plan something that's completely different. So that's why the prop that I love is the over 36.5 pass attempts for Burrow, because I think it's going to have to be quick stuff, a lot of quick stuff, a lot of screens. Like they can't run the ball. They're not going to be able to run the ball. They're not going to be able to do these 7-step drops. So in a weird way, knowing how bad you are on offensive line might, game plan wise, might help.
I do love that bet. I mean, I think he throws the ball 40, 45 times.
Yeah. Yep.
But I mean, I think McVay's a really smart coach too. Like, he knows that they're going to get – I mean, I'm sure everyone that the Rams play for the most part okay, out of our hands. That's anything new to the Rams. I think that they're aware of that. But to your point, 40, 45 times, they got to put the ball in the air.
I think I agree with that. I've made that play earlier. I also like the running yards for both quarterbacks, because the last thing either one of these guys want to do is to sit back there and hold it too long and then throw a pick. I think Taylor's telling Burrow, look, we know the rush is coming. If we get the ball out quick, great. If we don't get the ball out quick, you go 1, 2, 3. If it ain't there, either throw it away or tuck and run that fucker.
What's
that? I think that whatever the running total is, I think Burrow over that number. I also think that for Stafford too. I think instead of making those,
it's like 4.5. It's for Stafford. It's only like 4.5 yards.
Really? God.
Yeah.
Kneel downs.
Yeah, that's scary.
Oh, to take it away.
Yep. Here's another one I had that I like today. Over 2.5 pass attempts by different players. So over 2.5 players. There's going to be one trick play, right?
Yeah. I hope so. Odell going to throw it.
Jamar, all these guys, they've had something cooked up where it feels like, oh, there we go. All right, we're getting some threes going in St. John's. It feels like obviously Super Bowl. You gotta empty the playbook. There's got to be someone's got to have something ready to go. It's like the old Bill Cowher. As soon as you get past the 50, throw one in there. I don't know. We'll see.
It could work in your favor too. Like if the Rams get up by a few scores or something happens, like you've got to. That's when you really got to empty it out, and you've got to start doing all kinds of stuff.
Maybe the Rams win by so much. Rams win by so much they bring in the backup. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying the Bengals they'd have to whip out all their trick plays.
Yeah.
I would say too, the Bengals are probably more likely to do that because they feel maybe that to me is like grasping at straws. Like the last thing you want to come into the game and do shit that you haven't been throughout the course of the
One.
What about Philly special watch?
165.
That's good value.
God forbid someone gets hurt.
Yeah, what's Burrow's running yards? What's the over under on that?
Are you drinking
Kool-Aid? Not a lot either. It's not a lot.
What are you drinking, Silvy?
It's like the IV shit. That liquid. Waddle turned me on to it. When
he's getting ready for it this afternoon.
Yeah. I got some beer for tonight. Bloody Mary a little bit later. Drank some wine last night, not as much as Waddle. Waddle's hungover. Abdallah's hungover. I just worked out,
What
I know you don't know what that is.
Whoa! I ran a 5K the other day. Did you see that?
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
What was your time?
Run?
34 minutes. Not bad for a guy who hasn't run a single mile in like 5 years.
That isn't that bad, actually.
Yes, thank you.
Pretty impressive.
Were you smoking while you were running?
That was a different race, but yes, I was in that race. I actually was.
It's the decathlon.
When is this lifestyle gonna burn you out?
All right, I'm already burnt out. I'm so tired. I'm constantly tired. Constantly feel like crap when I wake up. So that happened a long time. I'm hoping that what I tell myself mentally is that it's always just like the football season. So after tonight, it's like, all right, I'm gonna break, but I'm sure March Madness is the same song and dance. Yeah, right.
You can probably find a good IV bar down in Louisiana, can't you, Jay? Jay? That's the move, isn't it? To get the IV beforehand.
Definitely the move.
Yeah.
Waddle, you have your big party, right? You have everyone over.
We're not doing it. We bailed on it.
Why?
Well, because I didn't want to, I didn't want to have a house full of people, and then I'm traveling a week from Wednesday and not be able to travel. So it was a selfish move by me. I didn't want anyone to come into my house and get me sick. So you guys are all not allowed.
You're talking about COVID?
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Jay?
COVID?
Jay, what do you think about that?
I don't even understand. What are you talking about?
You see,
that's Jay. Can we get there?
Jay actually brought a slideshow for us. Can we get that up?
I just sit down. I got a 30-minute slide. Real quick. Where are you going Wednesday?
A week from Wednesday, going to Florida. Going where all the old people hang out.
Where's that?
Okay.
Going to Palm Beach to see one of my daughters who's down there, and then going to drive across. I texted Foxy today, John Fox. I'm going to go see him like a week from Thursday. Get out on his boat, get all hammered.
Yeah.
Good time.
Awesome.
You guys will excel at that.
Oh, no doubt.
Isn't it amazing? You guys know, like Jay, you know too firsthand, but Big Cat, I don't know if you know how this relationship originally started. Him and Foxy became fast friends because Foxy bought Waddle's house. And like after like it, and then like every now and then Waddle would get a text asking him how the washing machine works.
Yeah.
Or where he keeps something like something. Yeah. And then next thing you know, they're drinking vodkas at Deer Path Inn in Lake Forest, and they became fast friends.
Look, it didn't work out great for John here as a coach. He's one of my favorite people I've ever met in the game. Like, he's cool as hell. He's fun to hang out with. And, Silvy, you got to know him as well. He's great. John, or I'm sure, Jay, you probably know him a little bit, don't you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Have you has Lake Forest changed much?
Really? We were in the Deer Path Inn last night. Shut that fucker down at like 12:15.
There you go.
Yeah.
Damn. Late night.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's late night for us.
I know.
Nothing's open past 12 o'clock in Lake Forest.
Big Cat, we said that there should be like a Bears White House where now every coach has to live in Waddle's old house. And then when they get fired, they have to move out, like when the president leaves.
I like that. By the way, speaking of new coaches, did you know Mike McDonald in Denver? Was he in Denver with you, Jay?
No, I never crossed paths with him.
He's giving me, and I know this is very mean for me to say, but his glasses are giving me some Treston vibes. I got to get over that.
Uh-oh.
When he showed up with the glasses, I was like, "What's going on here?" Skinny guy. So I saw it, and I was like, "I'm rooting for him, though." That's a good story.
Yeah, it's kind of they're kind of both under the radar hires, like GM and coach. So at least I feel that way. Not a lot known. I like anyone coming from KC, but still a lot of unproven entities, I think.
Yeah.
Well, McDaniel's been with Shanny all the way through, right? I mean, he was with him in Washington, Atlanta.
Yeah.
His story is crazy. He was a ball boy for Mike, and his mom, I think it was he worked the camp, the Broncos training camp. And one of the coaches ended up marrying his mom, so that's his stepdad. So he got in with, he was in with everything. It's a crazy story. I am rooting for him. I'm rooting for Tua too.
I think also it's just kind of a fact now that we're just so old, and our space and time of knowing all these coaches is kind of going past, and these new guys kind of coming in that we're just not familiar with, just because we're kind of out of it at that point.
But you're getting close to the age. We're the same age, but where you could be perfect for a coaching search firm where you're like, well, I know John Fox, I know Bill Parcells. Let's just hire those guys.
You could be a consultant.
Yes, get like a couple $1 million to do a Zoom meeting with your old friends, and then boom, make a hire.
Don't you think if I hired you two, Big Cat and Jay, I bet you, with your research and just with your fucking common sense knowledge, that you guys could come up with as good of names as any of these $1 million search firms or Hall of Fame general managers.
Easily.
Yeah.
Who would you hire? Big Cat, if you could have your choice, who would you hire as your head coach?
I'll tell you what.
I haven't done a research yet.
I've done a little research. I was in LA this week, and I was lucky enough to be out for some beers with some friends who invited Chip Kelly, and he hung out with us for a while. I'd hire Chip Kelly. I love that guy. I forgot how much I love that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think also you've got to take your bromance out of things at some point too. I love Chip Kelly too, but is Chip ready for back in the NFL? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I was talking to him. He is.
He said he is.
At 3:30 in the morning in a Manhattan Beach bar. I was like, yeah, we're ready.
We're ready. Big time.
He's like, who are you again?
Yeah, who would you hire?
We might have to rethink our interview process.
That was it. I've already done it. I've already done the first, second, and third interview.
Waddle's in on the search firm with you, Jay. Big Cat's out. There's no way, because he's just going to be searching the Manhattan bars.
Yes.
I mean, maybe we'll bring Big Cat in as like the closer.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I have some bad news for you, Big Cat. I don't know if you saw this because you've been partying. The Green Bay Packers saying they're all in to keep Aaron Rodgers in town for as long as possible.
I'm okay with that. Guy's a loser. He is. He's a loser. All he does is lose. Everyone laughs about that, but he's a loser.
Yeah.
I know Jay's friends with him now, but he's a loser.
What's going on with his hair? What's he doing?
It was a weird look the other night.
Yeah, it was a weird. There's a whole weird get up.
Yeah.
The
corduroy suit, like, you know, the kind of the drab colors. I wasn't sure what was happening.
Where do you think he wants to be next year? Do you think he wants to be in Green Bay or he wants to be in Denver or somewhere else?
At this point, I think I don't even know if he knows.
Here's what I'll say is that, like, obviously I want him out of Green Bay. He would be a fool to go to the AFC at this point.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, Brady's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, AFC is loaded. I'd try to get 49ers or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, there was a story this week that who was it? I think Scott Zolak, who works in Boston in the radio biz, and was obviously backup quarterback with the Patriots forever, is trying to sell people on the fact that he thinks that Brady's coming back and going to play for the 49ers.
How's he going to pull that off?
Maybe, I think he's a free agent, right?
I don't know. That would be, I mean, the 49ers would be instant favorites. I mean, their team is so loaded.
Yeah.
Besides, the quarterback position. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit different system for him though with Kyle. I think it's probably a lot more West Coast. Aaron would probably know that system better than Tom, but I mean, Tom could learn it. I mean, he's ran all those plays.
Have you guys seen what's going on with Kyler Murray? You know, he deleted all the social media stuff. Mort then, I guess, just tweeted out recently that he's a me guy. We've heard that too. You know, Waddle and I heard that through the grapevine that he's a tough dude to deal with. What do you think is going to happen there?
Why do you delete everything?
That's the move now. The move now is, what is it? Waddle, would you call that passive aggressive, or is that aggressive or
aggressive? I think it's petty. I think it's, I think what I read is he was upset because he feels like everyone's blaming him for the playoff loss, and he's got very thin skin. So
he blocked me. Yeah, he blocked me on Twitter after that. Yeah.
We played like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when he plays like shit, I do think it's a height problem, so I don't think he likes that. I do. Every time I bet on the Cardinals and they lose, I'm like, he's just too short. That's my scouting analysis.
His style, like the way he plays at his size, he's ultimately every year going to get hurt because he's reckless. I don't mean that negatively, but in terms of being able to stay healthy, it's just going to be hard for him because of his style.
Absolutely, it's a fact. And I mean, it was a big playoff game, his first one, kind of. So there's a lot going on there.
How do you guys think Stafford's going to play today?
I think lights out.
Really?
I do too. He's been awesome. Like, obviously that interception that was dropped against the Niners, like he's played the best. Peak Stafford is he'll still have one or two where it feels like he's giving you one. But other than that, he's been awesome. Like that Bucs game, that wasn't on him. Cam Akers was fumbling left and right. So he's been awesome.
They've had 2 weeks. They've had 2 weeks to prepare too. Like they're going to have a hell of a game plan.
Yeah. Johnny, the good kid, John Yurkovich joins us right now too. And Johnny, you think that like Jay said Rams by $1 billion. You think Rams by a hefty number too, don't you?
Yeah, there's only two scenarios I see: Cincinnati barely winning, or the Rams blowing them out of the water.
I like that.
And I do believe 25 is the number. I predicted 35%. So if you're holding a 5 and a 0, you're going to be a happy camper on your pools out there, kids.
Yurko, what about the Rams beating them by 3?
That can happen. I mean, certainly the scenario is Cincinnati by 3 all the way to the Rams by 25. Can Cincinnati do it? Maybe, but they're going to have to. It's not in the cards. They don't have the pedigree. Joe Burrow's a young quarterback. Even though he's looked fantastic, he's found a way to escape. 2 third downs against Kansas City, 3rd and 7+. He found a way to escape, and he made those plays with their legs. That's fortunate when you can do that.
For sure.
It's fortunate when you get out of the grips and you make plays like that. And that's great for that game. Now you got to replicate that again against Aaron Donald, against Von Miller, and even Leonard Floyd. Even Leonard Floyd with his athleticism probably chased down Joe Burrow today. I just think the talent level is just that much better with the Rams right now than it is with Cincinnati. Cincinnati's done it with some smoke and mirrors a little bit, and I have a feeling there's a tendency to be exposed in the Super Bowl when you do it with smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. Hey, Big Cat.
Big Cat and Cuddy,
Is Joe Burrow that good?
Yes.
But I feel like everything he does is he's just kind of average at it.
Really?
He's got so much swag and like I think
that's what everyone says.
Yeah, but I've had we've had him on a few times. I do think he's that good. I think he's very, very accurate. I think he also sees the game very, very well. Like I think he mentally is just ahead of the game at such a young age too in the NFL. So I think he's that good.
I think also he's so poised. He's older too. He's not 20, 21 years old. He's like 24, 25 years old. Yeah. But the amount of pass rush that he's seen and not to have folded, I mean, he got sacked. He got killed last year and had the surgery. No one got sacked more than him this year. He got sacked the 9 times against the Titans and still found a way to throw for 350 and had the 1 pick, I think. But yeah, I mean, of all these young quarterbacks, to me, Jay, I think him and the kid that plays for the Chargers is incredible too.
Oh, you guys love Herbert. Get out of here.
Oh, he's fantastic, Big Cat.
Whatever.
Isn't just Herbert snapping on your show? Why are you anti-Herbert?
He's been on our show.
Like Jimmy G.
There you go.
Jimmy G.
Herbert's been on our show. I like Herbert. Everyone I don't know what I can say on this show, but
you can say anything.
Everyone sucks his dick. It's like, what the hell? He's good, okay? We get it. He's good. He hasn't gone to the playoffs yet. I think he's good. It's crazy how much everyone says he's like the greatest thing ever.
Meantime,
Big Cat's
I'm in a Manhattan Beach bar.
Well, no, it all goes back.
Chip Kelly.
It all goes back to him beating the Badgers in the Rose Bowl, and I'm mad about it. I'm petty. I'll hate him forever for that.
By the way, what kind of hotel room are you in that's got a chandelier?
Yeah, I'm in the VIP suite. No big deal. Look at that.
Look at that.
I got bounce too. I'll give you one last story from Super Bowl week. I was at a bar on Wednesday, and I was sitting next to
a lot of work at bars.
What?
A lot of work at bars for you.
A lot of work at bars. I was sitting next to, and Antonio Brown came in, and his date on his arm, the one and only Larsa Pippen.
Really?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's in the news.
Yeah. And then we started smoking weed. It was pretty funny. No, we did. Antonio Brown's got a blunt roller that rolls around with him. I swear to God.
And just rolls it on the spot?
She was like, they were like, hey, can we smoke? And we're like, well, yeah, if you let us smoke too. And then, yeah. So that was that.
Is this a known thing? Is Larsa with AB now?
There was a ton of paparazzi outside, so I would imagine it's known. But if it's not, there you go. I broke the news. All right, I gotta go. I love you.
All right, see ya. All right, see ya, Big Cat. Cuddy, before you go, you could say as long as you want. You could leave now. Yeah. Before you go, how did you meet Big Cat? I mean, how did you and Big Cat become fast friends?
In Chicago, and he started writing for Barstool. And me and Greg Olson were like, we got to meet this guy. I mean, just because we liked how his writing was. The other guy sucked. And so we just tracked him down and went to a bar or something, hung out. We were like, okay, this guy's pretty cool.
He is a true American success story, isn't he?
Yes.
It's incredible.
And
all those guys, I was on Dave's podcast, and his ability to kind of pick talent early on is pretty incredible, because like all of those guys are still on a lot of those shows and are still highly successful. So for those guys, for him to pick people that can write, I mean, Big Cat's an extremely talented writer. Be able to write and then transform that and put that on camera, I mean, that's hard to do.
He's hilarious. Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, it's nice and Waddle.
What you say?
it's nice.
Not a lot of riders are entertaining. A lot of riders are boring.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Good delivery.
How long you guys on today?
Till 2. And then, like, I see you got the outsider hat on. I've got it.
Yeah.
Where's Waddle again? Are you not supporting again 2 days in a row? What the fuck?
Just screw me. I mean, at this point,
Look at this.
he's hungover.
Christ. Tommy, a shower would be good.
He's scared
I'm going to water this body
scared
down.
of COVID. He's holed up in his house.
Woo, look at that.
All right, who? I'm taking the Rams. So you guys, what's your final thought here?
I got the Rams 31-24. I think they win by a touchdown.
Okay.
Me too. I got.
Rams
And I actually had
35.
that pick before Waddle, so it's not like we copy each other.
Yeah.
Greg already said it's either Bengals by 2 or lost by 25.
There. I'm with
Yerk.
you. Same angle, man. I'm with them.
I love it.
That's the range. If the Bengals win, it's going to be barely, but the odds are this is going to be a San Diego, San Francisco Super Bowl from the early 90s, 94.
It's got that Northwest Indiana internet service working.
Show
What's
up.
that?
Said you've got that Northwest Indiana internet service working.
Is that me?
It's not us.
What are we going to do, guys?
Yeah.
All right, guys. You guys have a good day.
Show us the landscape again.
Let me see here.
Nice.
Look at that. Ah,
You could shoot a deer in the front yard.
it's amazing.
Camden,
Hey,
Jack, too.
Thanks for joining us, Jay.
All right, see you guys.
There he goes. There's Cuddy, Jay Cutler on twitch.tv. Big game pregame presented by our great friends at Connie's Frozen Pizza, also by your local Chicagoland Toyota dealers and DraftKings. Yurko, you're a DraftKings guy. How many bets do you have in the hopper today?
7.
What's your biggest play?
Jalen Ramsey, most valuable player.
Did you put a big number on it?
That's a good call.
100. 100. And he's like he's like 100 to 1.
Wow.
I had a buddy yesterday. Listen to this great thing. I got a buddy who's out at the Waste Management in Arizona,
Yeah.
right? So on a lark yesterday, he puts $1,000 for blanks and giggles. 1,000 on a hole in one.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
21 to 1. 21 to 1 are the odds, right? He puts $1,000 on it. And the one guy hit a hole in one, he won $21,000.
That's beautiful. And then everyone threw their beer cans out onto the green. He's
Can
frozen.
you guys hear me, or is this crap?
I was just typing in the Twitch chat about your internet. Your internet blows.
All right, listen, I don't know. There's nothing I
mean,
can
look,
do. It's my internet. I don't know
He
what to tell you.
says twice the house. It's probably twice the house, half the internet.
That's what it sounds like. I've been having problems in here. My DVG has been cutting in and out on me today. I can't gamble on the race. I'm trying to get a race in. Second at Tampa Bay Downs. I picked the winner. Right? The winner ends up paying $22. What do I get? Nothing, because I can't get the bet in. So, all right, I'm out. My internet sucks. I'm out.
I feel like this was a scheme.
I'm with you.
Fly off to your home planet.
Hey, Black. Somebody woke up Black. Good to see you, kid.
I've been here. Listen,
Yeah.
all you
Yeah,
are
right.
pixels to us.
How hat man in the middle is. Oh,
All right.
boy.
Travis, cut him out. Cut him out.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Jonathan.
Jay
Hey!
My internet is bad. Can you guys hear me? What the fuck? My internet's not good, Tommy. How's it going?
I seriously believe Yurko did that on purpose, so he could cut out and get to the bar sooner rather than later.
You know, Yurko. Yurko would say, I'm out. You know, Yurko's not playing internet games.
No.
His internet sucks. He would tell us, I'm leaving, I'm out.
Jay Hood, how's this game play out today, my friend?
Sometimes you don't overthink it, right? You don't overthink it, and it just seems like the Rams are all in. I made the parallel, Tommy, of like this is like the Yankees just getting all the free agents, all the trades they can make to go all in to be able to get in a position to win. And I think that's what the Rams are. I see the line hasn't moved much, 4.5, 4, but I still think the Rams win it no matter what, around the money line.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that they're the better team. And we were talking with the guys a little bit earlier that I admire what the Bengals have done, but can the good fortune continue to show up, and can the sun shine down upon them again for a third straight week? It could, but I think if you're a gambler and you're trying to assess everything, I think you have to go with the thought that the Rams are the better team, and 4 is not a huge number. So I may lose all my money, but that's where it's at.
Yeah. I feel good about it. I feel good about the Rams. The question I would have for you, though, sir, is that you were in the building in Cincinnati. Did they issue a number for you? Because the coolest thing would be like Waddle on the back, whatever number you had in a Bengals jersey. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I heard you guys talking about it today, the other day, and I sent Cap a text and said to him, he wanted to know if I remember what number. I don't remember. I think they may have given me like 83, but I'm not sure. I was only there for 7 days, so I don't even remember.
Do they give you a number when you come in, or do you have to actually practice your number? That's the question. I don't know.
You know what? I remember coming in but not really caring what the number was. I think one of their tight ends, I think it was Troy Sadowski from Georgia, a tight end from Georgia, I believe was 87 for the Bengals when I was there. So I didn't get 87. And I don't recall ever even really being concerned with what the number was.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I don't even remember what number I had. I can't even tell you.
Abdallah, look it up. Waddle's Bengals number. Look it up.
I tried to look it up and I couldn't find it. Again, I was only there for a week. I went through 4 practices. Who, Silvy?
Yeah, there he is.
He's there.
He went to get
some food. Sorry.
More food.
I don't blame you. I'm right there with you.
Multiple drinks. I got a Connie's pizza for tonight. Connie's frozen. So I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt.
Buddy, what do you got planned for the day?
Yeah. What's your setup?
Jerk chicken's coming. Of course, for a jerk, of course, you have jerk chicken. So jerk chicken's coming at 3:00 from Uncle Joe's.
What time is Cap invited over?
In Hyde Park. Who?
Cap.
Who? So I've got jerk chicken coming at 3:00 with all the trimmings. So it's kind of a Caribbean fare this time. Last year was tacos. This year, jerk chicken. So we're gonna have some fun. And my wife's interested for once, right? Usually
Really?
in this scenario, usually it's her upstairs watching Lifetime, so whatever the tearjerker movie of the week is. So she's gonna be watching. She usually watches Lifetime. She's interested in the Super Bowl, and I'm thinking this will be an interesting position here. She's actually interested in the game.
Hoodie, do you have any bet recommendations for everybody out there?
No, I mean, for me, it's always just the game itself and then the props, right? All right, so the interesting props, the exotic props are like the national anthem. I found out who's singing the national anthem. A sister that loves country. It's going over. It's going over.
Mickey Guyton, right? Is that Mickey Guyton?
Yeah, it's going over. Yeah, the vocal histrionics, the up and down, it's happening. It's going over. There's no question about it.
What's the time? What's the time this year? Does anyone know?
Not sure.
Because I think they make that time. The best was a couple of years ago when Doug Kazarian I think it was in Miami. Wasn't this when Doug was in Miami, or it was one of the Super Bowls before COVID? And Doug was listening to the rehearsal during the week, and he timed it. And he gave it out on the air that whoever was singing goes over. So it was fantastic. Yeah. It was such an inside job.
Abdallah, have you talked to Bro Connor about this? Bro Connor's a music teacher, and so he usually breaks down the musical performances, and he's really good at hitting the over-under on the time on the national anthem.
I can't remember the last time it went under.
I'll text him what he
feel like people, and now Vegas has adjusted for it, where if you don't bet it when it first comes out, the juice on it is so high that it's not even, because everyone bets over. No one's betting the under. I feel like if I was going to sing the anthem, I'd go really fast and put a bunch of money on the under. Like, can I?
You can't put too much though. I mean, like, and then like think about if you go longer, you're on camera longer. Why would you want why would you want to just cash a prop bet?
Singing at the anthem. I'm singing the anthem. I just want to cash the prop bet. I'll make multiple accounts in multiple locations, put a bunch of money on it, and then bet on myself.
I just checked. I have 10 wagers currently on the game.
Yeah. I've got at least.
Just on the game and not like no exotic bets around it?
Well, I mean, nothing like coin flip or anything like that. Like I have different parlays. I took my biggest play was an enormous $40 play on the Rams -4. That's as big a wager as you'll see from me.
So we're all, I think, Hoodie, you, me, Waddle. I know Yurko is. We're all DraftKings guys. By the way, the Big Game Pregame brought to you by, presented by Connie's Frozen Pizza. It's also brought to you by your Chicagoland Toyota dealers and DraftKings, as I want to get to them. America's top-rated daily fantasy app. Download the DraftKings app today. Someone just asked me, what's your promo code? It's WMVP. Use our promo code WMVP to get in on all the action. I've got like multiple MVP bets out there on the Rams. I think the Rams are going to win. Waddle, you know me, I'm a Stafford hater, and that's it's such low odds that I didn't play that. So I basically played Von Miller. I got like $5 on Von Miller. I've got $5 on Beckham. I've got Jalen Ramsey, $5. Like Yurko said, Yurko gave that one out. I've got $5 on Aaron Donald. And then I've got like a bigger chunk on Cooper Kupp. I want to say I've got 25 on Cooper Kupp for the MVP.
You know, you don't want to go, if you can help it, you don't want to go chalking at MVP. It could be some unsung hero, right?
Yeah,
Somewhere in the middle, some guy, not just a long shot, but something in the middle I'm looking at. Any suggestions?
Well, that's why I like Jalen Ramsey's play that Yurko gave out during the week. And as soon as I heard it, I mean, Jalen Ramsey, Hoodie, in my mind, is a top 5, top 7 talent on that field.
Yeah.
Like when you break down who are the most talented players, if it's not top 5, top 7, it's top 10. He is a great player who they gave up a lot for. And he is going to be tasked probably against Jamar Chase, right? And so if Stafford can throw a pick, we know that, or two. If he could shut down Chase, get one of those picks, something magical happens. Like $5 to win 500. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't cost you much to win something nice. So that was my quote long shot.
I think there will be a huge sentiment if it's even close. Let's say Aaron Donald has a couple of sacks. A lot of this conversation leading up to the Super Bowl was about Aaron Donald has accomplished everything. He needs to win a Super Bowl. If it's even close, like a couple sacks, maybe a strip sack, even if someone else plays well, I think there will be kind of that. The sentiment will lead you to Aaron Donald getting that vote.
You know, I'm wondering about guys like Chris. You know what's going to happen, right? It's like anything in sports. There's always a copycat situation, right? Like if the Rams win, do teams in the future start mortgaging their future? Like all these draft picks don't matter. We'll put them in to some deal to get our Von Miller, to get our guy. And if it's the Bengals, it's like, well, if the Bengals win, it's like, well, what's their formula, right? But I think from the Rams standpoint, like I told Cap, I said, this is like any baseball team or basketball team mortgaging the future to win now. I don't know how sustainable that is, but I think it's very interesting, like the Rams getting all these key players, including Odell Beckham Jr. being paid by crypto. Don't know how much that's going to be. But that's formula is interesting if the Rams win, right?
Yeah, I mean, look at the way that they put that team together. Every other team suggests that you build NFL teams through the draft. The Rams, at least in the first round, are not doing that. And then I would say with the Bengals, do we see in this upcoming draft teams draft wide receivers higher than you would expect? Because you point to Joe Burrow being the number 1 pick. Clearly, that's why they're there. But also it's that duo, right? It's Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase that makes them so lethal. So, do teams now say, hey, a top 5 wide receiver is totally worth it? Where in the past you'd maybe say, oh, that I'm not sure if I would take a guy that high in the first round. I think it's crazy. Like the way the Rams are put together and the way that they're structured going forward, like just mortgaging all those first round draft picks for studs. Yeah. Like I wonder if we see teams like the Cowboys or other teams try and mimic what the Rams have done if they win today.
You know what? Two things, Chris. It's a great point about the Bengals because the Bengals, there was thought that they were going to draft Penei Sewell, the offensive tackle, I believe, from Oregon, because their offensive line was so bad. Yeah. It's the reason why Joe Burrow was knocked out of the season and had the reconstructive surgery. But I think with Burrow's urging, they decided to go the other direction and bring Jamar Chase in and figured that they could patchwork that offensive line. And, it's been brutal up front for him, but they still found their way to the Super Bowl. And we were having this conversation a while ago about, and I said this with like 3 or 4 weeks to go in the season. I was like, boy, if this Bengals team can find a good offensive left tackle that can just be you don't have to be the best offensive left tackle in the league, but a good one, this team could be unstoppable because that's the one thing that they have issues with. The other issue you were talking about with mortgaging your future, look, the Rams just decided, or they thought, we're a good football team. If we're picking if we have a first round draft pick, it's going to be from 25, 26 or later. So we're already picking at the tail ends of the first round. And we're not picking at the top of the draft. So the policy that they have implemented, I think, is there in large part because they have a strong feeling that they're going to be really good for a while. And all those first-round picks that they punted on are going to be late in the first round, and they're comfortable with their approach.
Watching the Bengals this season, do you change your opinion for the Bears in this offseason, right? Like when most people say the number one need for the Bears offense is to upgrade the offensive line, which is true. Yeah. But like if the Bears could go out and get a true number one wide receiver, is that more valuable based on what we're seeing from the Bengals?
It's a really good question. If you got the best wide receiver, is he going to be Jamar Chase like? Like Jamar Chase is, we all knew he stayed out of the year last year, right? I mean, he opted out, but everyone knew how good he was going to be. I think that there's, you feel confident that maybe there's more certainty with that wide receiver. I don't know what you do.
Or with the opposite too. Do you get a team like the Rams that comes in that says, hey, not the Rams, but a team that's ready to win like the Rams, and they say, hey, guess what? We want Khalil Mack for this amount of picks. We want Robert Quinn for this amount of picks. And you can get some of those picks back that Ryan Pace gave away, and you can get that wide receiver. You can upgrade positions on some of these guys that a team might be a Khalil Mack away from winning a Super Bowl, because I think we all kind of believe that they're not going to be in that kind of contention next year. So if you can get rid of some of this money and get rid of some of these guys and get more draft picks, why not?
Ryan Pace would always mortgage the future for unproven guys that he would, like there's a difference between what the Rams are doing with proven players that he's giving up, and then Pace would just jump up. I think, Abdal, what you brought up, I think Robert Quinn is really, really interesting because I think they're committed to him for one more year.
Yeah.
And man, he's coming off a career year. And if he's not going to be here for long, and some team looks at his 18 sacks and says, I want him, and then I know there will be Bears fans. How could you give up Robert Quinn? But oof.
That's where you've got to figure out what the mindset is of the new administration. Like, do they believe that they are more than, just a hair away from being competitive and winning? That's the route I would take. I'd be willing. I love Robert Quinn. I thought that he'd be really good from Jump Street. He wasn't, obviously, in his first year, nor did I think he'd be as good as he was in his second year. I thought life would be somewhere in the middle with him. He's a fantastic player, but I don't think they're close to really competing for anything. So if you told me that they could move on from him and get some sort of significant, draft currency in return, I would definitely be for it.
We got to ask the Bears life coach, Eberflus, what he thinks of all that. I mean, my God, did we get a football coach? Did we get Zig Ziglar? For God's sakes! I mean, listen. This is the most indifferent I've been about a Bears head coach in a long time.
Yeah.
But I already got the sandwich bet out with Cap about how this new coaching regime will not see Arlington Heights. They just won't. All it just feels like it's in transition unless the Bears just get hot, right? I mean, we discussed the formula of both teams, how the Rams and how the Bengals got there, right? And the Bears have strengths. But Tommy, as you well know, if you just don't have an offensive identity, it's just not going to work. Right? You're just not winning games 9-6 anymore. Like I know the bread and butter of our football team is run the football, strong defense, but it's more than that, man. Like it is a chore for all of us to watch Bears games and then you put on the 325 game. You go, oh, well, I just saw the junior varsity. Here's the varsity. Balls down the, shots down the field, strong defense, good running game. Run after the catch, all these things, all the intangibles you like of a football team. And we watch the Bears and it's kind of like, my God, what year is it? Right. Yeah. So that's my whole concern. Like, I hope Eberflus is ready for the job. I just hope it's in transition right now for me.
Hoodie, that's why we need Luke Getsy to be the real deal, right? Because Eberflus is going to be the leader and the defensive, guy and the hits guy. But hopefully Getsy's the man. That's what we got to hope for.
Yeah, I think he was the most important hire for sure, as who's going to be the guy that is going to have his hands on Justin Fields and hopefully develop him. Go back, Chris, to the conversation about what would you use a high first-round pick on. Yeah. The more I think about it, with the Bears situation, I would still probably go elite left tackle, thinking that I could find or hoping that I could find Stephon Diggs, or hoping that I could find another second-round or third-round wide receiver that could help with the development of Justin Fields. I think that there has been so much damage done up front with this offensive line and just kind of the mentality of the offense. I think just for everybody's well-being, I think we'd all feel better. And I think that the young quarterback would feel better if he felt the line was more secure. And you should be able to do both.
Yeah, you should.
I'd also say, in the last couple of years, we've kind of seen this in the draft, especially like last year. You can find good starting wide receivers from rounds like 4 through 6, which didn't used to be the case. Like college football, all teams do now is throw the football. Yeah. And all they do is throw the football like 60 times a game. You can find wide receivers in the draft. You absolutely can.
I think the Bengals situation with Jamar Chase was unique because Chase and Burrow played together at LSU. I think if Jamar Chase wasn't Jamar Chase, it was somebody else, they probably would have thought more about going with Penei Sewell. But because they had the connection between the quarterback and the receiver, I think that was a tipping point.
What's Jordy doing? Was he doing laundry? Buddy, what are you doing with the Downy over there? Then you turned off your screen. You doing laundry?
Yeah,
what are you doing with it?
It was time for the fabric softener. I heard the little click, so it's time for the fabric softener. This portion brought to you by Downy. Ah, yes, Downy. Ah, the lifelong favorite, Downy. Ultra Downy. How about that?
Soft.
I actually don't mind doing laundry either in my house. I have no problem with it. There's certain things I don't want to do, but doing the laundry to me, I'm fine with it.
You're the laundry guy and the dishwasher guy.
That's me.
That's right.
That is me.
That's right.
Herman, what the fuck is up?
I do the laundry too. I like doing the laundry. I have a system for doing laundry.
What's your system?
Clean it?
It's a top secret, but I love the 3 times, Downey. I saw 3 times on there.
That's right.
Do you remember that? For all of us that are, those of us that do the wash, do you remember years and years ago where you basically put a giant cup of detergent in with every load?
Yeah.
And like now we come to find out several years later that all you need is like the size of a quarter and it'll do everything just fine. It was such a marketing ploy. They would get in our pockets. You got to use a half a jar of this to actually get the dirt out of your fucking clothes, right?
If it says 64 loads, of laundry done on the container when you buy it, I mean, yeah, you should be doubling that. That's true.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You don't need to fill that whole cap up.
No. I told you what my wife did. One of the first things that I learned about her when we started dating, and she still uses it. She uses 5 pieces of the fabric softener in the dryer.
Still in the dryer. That's
half.
Right.
Half of one sheet.
Oh yeah, I mean she's going 5,
This
3 to 5.
Five.
Yeah, it's crazy, Hoodie. I like when I first found that out. I brought that to the air. I'm like, what is going on here?
I defy anybody to find a better Super Bowl breakdown than this, by the way.
Yeah.
Doing laundry?
Doing laundry, Black.
Tips on laundry.
Hey, listen, man. I mean, when you hear that click, when it's time for the fabric softener, you got to get over there.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss your window, Carmen. I mean, that's
No.
what it is. You don't want to miss the window.
I know.
Well, like really, Carm, what is the Super Bowl preview going on right now on like the networks? It's one feature, and then it's like a 10-minute commercial break, and then they come back, and then they show you the set, and they may show you a stadium shot. Then they take another break. Like really, there are no good This is the fucking Super Bowl.
I don't even have it on. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, it's just
You guys want to know what I learned today? I
nonsense.
learned that Matthew Stafford and Clayton Kershaw went to high school together.
No,
already.
Are you serious?
I learned this today. This is the first time I'm hearing this.
Like
the
as
first time I've heard
kids.
this.
Like,
Yeah,
no. At a football camp they met. No, I mean, are you telling they really went to high school
They're
together?
friends. Yeah, they're
Yes,
friends.
you didn't know that?
They're
I'm
friends.
joking.
Oh, Sylvie's
No,
joking.
I'm playing into Dallas thing.
No, it's
you-
just
you
it's
hear,
mentioned
you'll hear that
every.
like 15 times today.
Yeah.
And every
It's
time
probably
Kershaw
10
wants-
years.
Oh, did you see that he and Matthew Stafford grew up together?
Ugh, high school friends.
3-2
Ugh.
pitch.
Isn't that one of the first things? That's the first things we learned, like when they were both breaking in.
Yeah.
You know, when Kershaw was crushing the Cubs in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know that he played with Matthew Stafford? They were on the baseball team together. Like, yes, we know. It's like I think it's like Highland Park, Texas, isn't it? Something like that.
That's correct. Yep.
Carm, why'd you smell like booze on Friday?
Oh yeah,
Who's on Friday?
you smell like my grandfather drinking martinis.
Oh, I did that podcast with that. There's a special podcast up on our page, on the Carmen and Yurko page, if for the whiskey fans out there, that I taped with this. She's a fascinating lady from Ireland. She's what.
Oh, can you talk like she talks?
It's not quite as good, Tommy, but I'll try. Like she's got the really good Irish brogue. I mean, it's much better than mine. Mine's horseshit, she said. It's terrible. No, she's fascinating, and she did. Yeah, she had a few samples of things that we poured and tasted. So
Nothing tickles my balls like your interaction with Merkin reading the Northwestern spot.
I was gonna say there's an Aer Lingus joke in there that I'm not gonna make.
Yeah.
Oh, we've made it before, Adam. Don't you worry.
But not with her there.
Aer Lingus joke. Yes, it's a great airline, by the way. I've flown Aer Lingus. For real.
By the way, I played in that game 30-some years ago. Hold
The
on.
Aer Lingus Classic?
It's different. It was called something different. We played Army. It was called the Emerald Isle Classic.
Oh, of course.
This is a ticket.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Let's see that, Waddle.
It was, I mean, what year was it? It was probably, what years it say? It was 1988. It was my senior season.
Wow.
And we played Army in Ireland, and we were drunk all week.
I bet.
And then we went out and we beat them. It was a great trip.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We've given Northwestern so much love. I hope they fly us over to Ireland for this Nebraska.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
Oh,
If you're in Ireland, the last thing you want to do is go to a football
Probably.
game.
I know. Ireland's pretty great.
man, if you're gonna fly to Ireland to see some college football, get two teams you want to watch. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about
You want to go see Boston College and Army square off?
Better. That's much.
It might be better than Northwestern.
Well, Northwestern, Nebraska. I mean, it'll be a soccer score. It'll be 3-0.
Oh my God! You talk
Did
about
you guys-
you talk about the development of Nebraska fans. I mean, they believe that they should be back in the day, Tommy, of like Tommy Frazier.
Yeah.
You know, winning games 9-3. They miss those days. Listen, I love the support, but like they're far away from that, right?
Did you guys hear the mayor on with us on Friday at all?
Caught a little bit.
She remember when she was like tweeting out when they first learned that they've gotten an agreement, and she's like, "Oh, the Bears suck," and this and that, and like throwing some darts at them. She went from that to, "Hey, we know our stadium sucks. We know traffic sucks. We want to fix it. We'll change," really quickly, didn't she?
Somebody must have said something to her, like, listen, Mrs. Mayor, this is not the kind of facility that that the founding franchise of the league should have. It's actually quite horrible. Yeah, somebody got to her.
What can they do? Like, I mean,
thing.
Yeah, what did Sylvie asked her if you could put a roof on it? And obviously she's not an architect, so she probably doesn't know. And I don't blame her for not knowing that. But can you put a roof on it? Can you fix? She talked about how hard it is to get into the building. I mean, how much improvement can you actually make based on what's going on there?
Can't make it any bigger though either. Isn't that ultimately what the Bears want? I mean, like, they need to be done with renting their stadium from someone. It's come on. Go build your own stadium. Host a Super Bowl in 6 years. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Hey, I heard you guys as I was coming in about receivers and stuff and Chase. And I asked Yerk and Meller this the other day. As great and as much fun, and Jamar Chase is awesome. Like, do you ever think, like 5 years from now, if Penei Sewell turns out to be like as good as Rashawn Slater, let's say, or you ever think they'll regret not drafting Sewell, considering how much trouble they have protecting Burrow? Because the story is now.
Yeah, they could. I mean, and listen, I as I said earlier, I think a big reason why that whole thing went down was because of the familiarity between the receiver and the quarterback.
Do we think that Jamar Chase takes a step back? I mean, you could argue that Chase is the best wide receiver in football this year.
I know, Chris. I don't think he is. Like, I don't think it's some sort of flash in the pan. But if Burrow's getting sacked 50 times every year for the next 3 years, like that ain't gonna hold up, And
I mean, we've seen that with Mahomes, right? Like that's been the downfall with Mahomes. They got off to that really great start. They win Super Bowl. And ever since then, they can't really keep them upright when they need to.
Yeah, like especially last year when everybody was injured and like all the moving parts. You're right. And it's not on like I don't think Chase will regress or that he's not awesome because he is. It's just knowing the importance of that left tackle position and how much trouble they have across their line protecting him. I just we were spitballing it. And everybody's reaction was kind of the same, Chris. Like, probably not, because Chase is awesome and he might be the best receiver in the league for the next few years if he gets even better. And you can, ideally now they have to go out and find a left tackle, though.
Yeah.
How do they do that? And if they find a very competent and capable one, then it won't matter.
I'm still in the camp that if I had that pick, I'd still go left tackle. Again, as I said, I think that they went the other direction because of the familiarity. But with our situation, I think securing that line and letting our young quarterback be confident is more important than getting him a wide receiver with the 5th or 6th pick, whatever it was, where Jamar Chase was.
Let's welcome in Cap. Cap, thank you for joining us today. It is the Big Game pregame presented by Connie's Frozen Pizza and your Chicagoland Toyota dealers and DraftKings, America's top-rated daily fantasy app. Download the DraftKings app today. Make sure you use that promo code. Huh?
Is Cap, are you betting horses?
Hold on, let me finish the fucking read.
Oh, what was it?
I mean, like, we've only done it for 15 years together. Can I finish?
I'm hungover.
Download the DraftKings app today. Use promo code WMVP to get in on all the action. All right, go on.
I just wanted to know if Cap was betting on horses today.
I actually am. Brett is sitting right over here. We've got NFL Network. We've got UConn, St. John's. We've got TVG. Yeah, we got it all going.
Can we see your setup? Show us your setup.
Yeah. There's the setup right back.
Nice. Very nice.
There's the Brett man back there.
What's up, Brett?
In his Dan Marino jersey.
That's a good jersey. Yeah. That's a good jersey.
So, yep, we're just hanging out. Hoodie! So, yeah, we're trying to handicap horses and put a same game Atlanta Hawks, Boston Celtics parlay because last night I did a 12-leg Bulls same game parlay and went 11-1.
Oh, ouch! Like, are you happy because of that, or does that hurt even more that you just missed that one leg?
I'd rather have gone 1-11.
Yeah.
That
hurts.
That
and
hurt.
and the one
58-1.
was what, Cap? The one was what?
The one I lost, I had Vucevic over 1.5 threes. He had 4 open looks and missed every one.
4 open looks. Yeah. He's really good with right now going to the hoop. He had a nice dunk last night.
Left-handed.
Lefty. Yeah. And then like his moves, his post moves have been great. Like the more he focuses on that when he can, like ideally you want him to hit these open threes, especially come playoff time and spread the floor. But Cap, you had yourself quite the week. You've been all over the place.
Yeah, they've been working me because Boyle was in Mexico, so I did 2 Bulls games. Or excuse me, I did his Hawks. I did Goff's 2 Bulls games because he was at the Super Bowl. So they had me going all over the place. So, but it was fun, man. I love doing it. I was with Kendall last night at the United Center, and it was just great to be back in that environment, seeing that energy. So I like this team. I do. I'm a little.
I got my DeRozan shirt on for the obvious shirts.
Love that. I have the Shy Slamma Jamma one.
Yeah,
but I like that one.
Did you guys see the news about Zach today?
Yeah. In LA, it's not good. They just had Woj on 2 minutes ago with Greeny, and he said there is concern in the organization.
What happened?
Is he right about it, or should we go with Windhorse on that one?
There you go. Insider jokes. I love it.
I mean, listen, that shouldn't happen though. That's just one call. Hey, Woj calls Windhorst. What do you know? Not fighting back and forth online about sources. That's the fucking worst.
Yeah,
makes
that's
the company
bad.
look bad.
They wouldn't make it with good karma.
Same team. Not good.
Explain what happened for those who don't know about the Harden stuff with Woj, Black. You made the reference.
Yeah. So early in the week before the trade deadline, Brian Windhorst said that both teams, the Sixers and the Nets, were talking and discussing a trade around James Harden and Ben Simmons. Woj on all the platforms, on TV in the morning, on Greeny's show, Get Up, on social media, said that they weren't talking at all. Completely discredited Windhorst's story and used his, how many Twitter followers that he has to kind of suggest that Windhorst was completely wrong. What happened? On Thursday, the trade deadline's at 2:00. The morning of the trade deadline, Woj changes his story saying that both teams are now talking, and the first time that they're talking is today. Which, come on, we've all watched the NBA for years. And trades don't happen in one day, especially with superstars like James Harden and Ben Simmons. So,
I don't feel like that. That doesn't happen in 1 hour.
Yeah, right. So Woj tried to suggest that he was right all along, even though Windhorst had the story. And then, it kind of comes down to like what you consume, right? Like, so if you're someone who didn't or wasn't aware that Windhorst even reported this story originally earlier in the week, you think Woj all of a sudden got another one. There he is. Woj got another one. Windy had it.
Chris, did he not say there hadn't even been serious discussions?
Yeah, right.
I was exactly. Okay, hold on a second now. They've had discussions. There's no way you're making that magnitude of a deal and had no substantive talks.
He hedged his bet a little. He wrote a story on Monday. I think it was he and Ramona actually on the byline saying that Marks and Daryl Morey had a conversation. Like he put I can't remember the date. I think it was like January 15th or something.
Right, a month. Yeah,
it was about a month ago. And that Morey had said, what do you want for James?
Right.
Marks responded like, James who? We have 2. And he goes, Harden. He goes, no, we're not trading him. And he goes, and that was the last they talked. Like he was kind of, I feel like hedging himself a little bit, but it's kind of I don't know, Woj. Listen.
Well, there's a lot of stuff behind. Like Woj runs everything.
Totally.
Yes.
And
Godfather Black. Like I mean, he literally right. I mean,
right.
Cap and I. You know what, Chris?
He used to work for the company, and he has a Substack now, which is a newsletter. Because he doesn't work for anyone. He doesn't work for The Athletic. He doesn't work for ESPN anymore. And he's been chronicling like the behind the scenes on how Woj became Woj and how he kind of shuts out everyone. And he's the only one who can report stories and a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So if you're into media, his Substack's pretty good on.
Who's that, Chris? Who was that?
Strauss.
Okay.
He used to work for ESPN.
Oh, look at Waddle. Waddle, that's a great pose right there.
It looks like you got your schlong.
Yeah.
It is. You know he likes to put his mouth on it too.
It's see-through. Carm, would you like a taste?
No, I'm good.
See-through.
Corona.
It's the only beer I have in my fridge. My 18-year-old daughter and all her friends drank everything in my fridge last night.
By the way, Waddle, I wanted to show this to you. I don't want to derail us too much, but since you're drinking, I'm not drinking yet, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to drink later in honor of you.
Yeah.
The Bengals in Cincinnati. I don't know if you know what this is. This is New Riff. And New Riff is just south of the river. They're actually
down by the river.
They're right across. Now, I think they built the distillery on that side because they want to be able to call it Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Can't do that if it's not made in Kentucky.
Right.
But I think their offices might even be on the other side. What's the big store? Party Source, Tommy, in Cincinnati? City? Party Source?
Well, there is a Party City, but I haven't lived there since '85. So
their version of Binny's, is it called like Party Source?
Total Wine, Carm.
No, it's not Total Wine. It's Party something. Like the guy who started that and became a multi-gazillionaire, he went into the distilling business. I don't know. New Riff's been around maybe 8-9 years, something like that. And they started New Riff. But they're like pretty proud about like a lot of their Cincinnati roots, and they're just on the other side of the river. So this is for you later. I'm going to be having this in honor of the Bengals and Tom Waddle.
After the game, come on up. We'll have a basketball game with a bunch of neighborhood kids afterwards.
Just us and a couple of 13-year-olds.
That's what I'm going to miss most is the after game.
I know, me too.
I had to. One of Brett Merkin's friends elbowed me in the nose, and I had to actually shift my nose back in place.
Brutal.
I still made the basket.
Yes, you did, and won.
Yes, I think I dunked.
The man's man, Tommy. I'm bragging about dunking on like an 8-foot rim against 13-year-olds.
Big fucking deal. It was a dunk, Carm.
Hey, Tommy, let's play the 3 at Aqueduct. It goes off in 7 minutes.
Okay. The 3? What's the odds on it?
8-1.
Ooh, I like that. We played across the board, or are you going to hook it up with another pony?
I just played it win and place.
Okay.
The 3 at Aqueduct.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever give the background for those who don't know on Twitch on Zach? That I know we start talking about booze. So the story on Zach is, and Woj had this, is that he's going to LA and he's getting this second opinion. There was no structural damage when they looked last time, but the soreness continues. You were watching the Bulls game like during the week. I want to say it was Adam Amin calling the attention that, hey, look, he's wincing as he's dunking. And he missed yesterday's game. So now he's going to see the specialist. And Woj also wrote in there that he's still hoping to play in the All-Star game. Oof. I mean, and he's taking part in this 3-point contest too. He's going to miss these next 2 games for the Bulls as well. No matter what they find, guys, he's got to shut it down for the All-Star game. Doesn't he have to put everything here in the last third of the season?
I would think they reevaluate.
Silvy, I worked with Kendall last night, and I said, don't play these next 2 games and sit out All-Star weekend. He said, dude, when it's your second All-Star game, you are going to do anything you can to get on the floor. Your 6th or 7th, maybe not. But he said if he had all can play, Zach's going to go, which I think is a mistake.
Yeah, he's had a thumb injury. He's had the back spasms. He's had a knee injury. Like this team, as we've talked about, say what you want, how far can they go? But they're in the middle of contending. Yeah. They're battling for the number 1 seed right now. They're going to be playing for hopefully a championship.
Don't forget, he also wants his money this summer.
Yeah. Let's get this right. Let's not.
What are they thinking the injury is, guys?
They're going to have a second opinion on his. I don't. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, there was no structural damage. There was nothing like.
Right.
He didn't tear anything. It didn't show anything. He's just going to a knee specialist because it keeps aggravating him.
Never.
I want everybody to be as healthy as possible as we get into March and April. You know, that's the whole thing, right? I mean, that's why at the deadline I didn't care if the Bulls made a move or not. I just cared about the health of the team. And if Zach's available in March, just like Patrick Williams or Caruso or Ball, I'm all in. Just make sure they're healthy as we get ready for the playoffs, no matter where they're going to be slotted.
Yeah.
1 through 5 doesn't matter.
The Bulls' health in a nutshell, guys. I don't know how much you watched of last night's game, but the microcosm of Derek Jones Jr. basically just sums up the Bulls. Yeah, I mean, so he's out with a bone bruise to his knee for like 4 to 6 weeks or whatever it is. While he's out, he breaks his finger. Right. Okay, so now it's delayed. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, they get Derek Jones Jr. back out of the blue. He comes back. And there must have been 10 times in last night's game where he kept grabbing the finger.
Unbelievable. I mean, like, it was incredible. I'm like, this poor guy. He was like writhing in pain. I was constantly getting it banged in. He's like playing with one hand. And I'm like, they can't catch a break with all the injuries right now. It's crazy. Cap, did we play the 3 at Aqueduct, the 4th race you said?
Yeah, I played the 3.
And
Hope.
Okay, I just played it.
1.
All right,
if you want to box up an exacta, you could go 1-3, 3-1 box. That 1 is a big favorite, but the weather is awful there.
All right, 1-3. I'll do a 1-3 exacta too.
Yeah, 3 is now 7-1. The 1 is 3-2, the favorite. But man, wet, sloppy, going.
All right, I just played it. I played both of them.
Sort of like I'm going to be at kickoff for the game.
Yeah.
Holy bleep! What is going on with that, Cap? That weather. Is that
weather's horrible.
What is that?
Jeez.
I got to go check my bean dip. I'll be right back.
That's why I'm taking a shot at a little longer shot.
Check your bean dip. Yeah, what was it? What does that mean? Like,
that's code for something. What do you think he's doing?
Check his bean dip.
Where are you in your house? In the basement or your office?
I'm in the office. Yeah.
That's where I shot the video for your birthday.
That was a good prank.
That was great.
Am I the only one drinking today?
No. Now you're the only one drinking now.
Hey, no, Brett started already.
Way to go! Nice. I got Brett's favorite too. I have a little Corona Light right now.
Yeah, so he's got his Corona chilling. Mindy went and got him some IPA at Biddy's yesterday. He's like a beer connoisseur.
That's awesome.
And I'm one can Dan.
Yes, you are. You could get drunk looking at a bottle of beer.
This is true.
What do you do?
I did get really hammered Friday night.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been drunk for 2 days. I've been drunk for 2 days.
It was Nick's birthday. We went out to dinner. We went to a bar first, and we did shots, and it did not end well for me.
Did you puke?
No.
The last time I puked was 4 years ago at the Super Bowl party, where I went to bed.
I remember.
I went to bed. I woke up at 3 a.m. I had my shoes on, fully dressed. I had my shoes on, laying on top of my covers. I woke up. I ran into the bathroom, completely dressed, and puked everywhere in the bathroom.
Classic.
It was fantastic.
Well, I'd rather puke than have the room spins. There's nothing worse than the room spins, and when you have to you try to put one foot on the floor, and they won't stop spinning, and you're like, either puke or pass out. Puke or pass out. Come on, stop spinning on me.
So when you put your foot on the ground like my wife did a few months ago, where she's 1 foot on the ground to keep the bed from spinning?
Right. Yeah, you got to I think it kind of sort of centers yourself. At least it's what someone has told me the trick is.
Yeah.
But the best part about Silvy being drunk is the voice goes completely low. He becomes like Lou Rawls. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's just like, oh, here comes Silvy down the hall. Hey, Silvy, how's it going? Hey, man, what's going on? Hey, man, Waddle and I have a really great show. We've got Jay Cutler. Excuse me? Can I get some loose squares? Loose squares? Excuse me. Like, I'm clutching my pearls when he talks to me like that. I feel unsafe. You know, just like, I don't know. The voice goes down. The hat's up, down here.
Yeah.
The sweat from the night before. It's amazing. Like, post Silvy drunkenness is the best.
Party voice.
How's your voice lower than mine? It's amazing. Just like, hey, man, what's going on? Like, whoa.
It is crazy. Yeah.
How does that happen?
That day after. And then I like hungover, I'm way more loose. Like, and I don't really get hungover. I'm just tired. Like that's what Waddle is always impressed by, that I don't get hungover.
That is an admirable quality that I wish I had. Like I get hangovers so bad.
I know, me too.
Oh.
So you guys, so you don't take aspirin after you've had a night of drinking? Because
no, you know what works, honestly, and they sell them everywhere now, and everybody's the liquid IVs. Actually,
I turned Silvy onto those a while ago. If you take them at night though, before you go to bed, I think some of them do have a little caffeine or something that's comparable, and it'll keep you awake. So
what do you mean a liquid IV? Explain this.
I'll show you here.
Yeah, it's like a super loaded electrolyte pack.
Yeah, it's a packet of powder. Yeah, packet.
Powder, and it's for I mean, it's for workout and performance, and they say you should have one every day.
Silvy had one this morning,
but it's great for when you wake up with a hangover. It helps.
You just drink it.
Just drink it. It's a powder.
You take it, put it in a bottle of water, and it's like I think they say it's an equivalent of 3 or 4 waters.
Yeah. I haven't had a hangover in 25 years, guys, because I take the bear after. Drinking right before I go to bed. Pop 2 aspirin. I'm good.
We're off running at Aqueduct.
Hoodie, I can't take aspirin. It absolutely eats a hole in my stomach.
Me too. I can't do it.
Everything does. Oh, by the way, I texted the boys.
Oh yeah, really?
Out of the blue, 10:00 at night on Friday. I ate dinner. I was hungry. My stomach was fine. Out of the blue, I had to go. Number 2, sat on the toilet, and it was like there was an explosion underneath.
Really?
And it was not expected, and it was just everywhere, Woody. It was just chilly. It was just.
Wait a minute. Did you say it was chili?
It was the chili we ate, and it was explosive. And I texted Black Abdallah and Waddle, and I said, so much diarrhea.
Hey, we're in first in the stretch.
Come on, let's go 3.
The 2's taking him over.
Hit him.
Bill George Jeff is joining.
Come on.
He's dead.
It's a tradition unlike any other. Cap on the big game pregame gambling on horses.
What a
2-1-3 is how it finished.
Look how wide that is.
2-1-3.
Yeah.
So we just missed the fucking exam.
Oh well.
Did Jim Miller have any plays this weekend, Carr?
Jim did. He had 3 horses. Yeah. Well, one of them scratched yesterday in the race at Tampa. Jim always gives out 3 on the odds couple every Friday.
Did you see who was at the Bulls game last night? You see Robbie at the Bulls game with his kids?
Robbie put it on the scoreboard. It was amazing how loud it got.
That's what Brusso, our buddy Brusso, told us. It was the loudest cheer of the night.
No,
is for Robbie. And he came on last year. We were texting with him about possibly coming on this year, and he said, "Cap, I know you talked to him too, that this last loss, has stung and has been harder for him to get over than almost any loss in his entire career. Maybe it's because he's 39, and maybe because he's been perfect and he knows these opportunities aren't going to happen like when he's 24 or 25. But he had to decline because he's still getting over the loss.
I was watching NFL Network this morning. Rappaport said that the Bucks and Texans are discussing Deshaun Watson to Tampa.
Yeah.
Really?
That's what he said.
I mean, the Bucks, even though they're going to lose, they're probably going to lose Godwin, right? Gronk's going to.
Godwin, what can Godwin do, Carm? I mean, he's coming off an ACL. He's a free agent.
He won't play till October, right?
Yeah.
In November, considering the timeline of
but
it.
He may not even be with Tampa.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he leaves, Gronk probably retires, right? Evans is another year older. But I still think with that line, with that defense, they're probably still in, hey, a good quarterback, we're in win now mode, right? I mean, I could see him doing something bold like that because I think they still like a lot of their roster.
I saw some chatter about maybe what's Jameis's contract situation in New Orleans.
I don't know. Did he sign a 1 or a 2-year deal? I'm
not sure, but that maybe they would be. I didn't realize it. I thought he struggled, but Silvy pointed it out to me that if you go back and look at how he played before he got hurt, I know he played really well against the Packers, but but he had a good start to the season last year. I think Sean Payton did Sean Payton things with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jameis signed a 1 year, $5.5 million deal.
What? It was 1 year?
1 year.
By the way, Dion.
Contract.
Am I in?
Yes, you are in. You
I
are
am.
in.
Hey,
Dion Miller.
guys.
Hello, Dion Miller, ABC 7, and of course now ESPN 1000. Your show is now on Saturdays at 11 a.m., correct?
Correct. Saturdays at 11 a.m. It's a good time.
I got to tell you, I know you were with Meller yesterday. Miller is awesome as well. But when I was driving Braxy around town last Saturday, my youngest, and we tuned you in when we were in the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through, and I was like, and Danny, I tweeted about it, and Danny said something in her newsletter, like you could just feel happiness and joy coming out of the speakers with you and Peggy. It was refreshing, especially from all of us grumpy assholes.
Yes.
Well, what's funny is like we're such good friends. Like that's just what we talk, like how we talk to each other. And when I first moved here, someone actually said to me, "You'll never be friends with her. You'll just always be competitive." And now we're like, I mean, you can just tell we really genuinely like each other, and it's such a treat that we get to talk every week. So I'm excited. Although her streak lasted one show because she had a trip somewhere.
Like, boy, Peggy's already taken vacation days. Like
already, I didn't even know we got vacation days, you guys. And one weekend she's gone.
Yeah, that's a radio pro, Carm. That's
like, right there. Yeah, I guess so. I'm like, wait, Meller's in today for Peggy's already off after 1 week.
Already off. It's some wedding in Costa Rica. Whatever.
Oh gosh.
Peg spends a lot of time in Florida too, doesn't she?
She does a lot of time in Florida. So maybe I'll go on the road with her to Florida. That's what I think.
Golfing in the winter.
Hey, tell me another hole in one at 16.
There's another one?
Another one?
Carlos
beer can?
Makes hole in one.
No way.
Boy, that scene yesterday was something.
Carm, do you remember? I forget what year it was that the Super Bowl was out in Arizona. We were there. And I remember going to the Bird's Nest the Saturday night before the Super Bowl. It's the party they have on site there.
Oh.
And with the Super Bowl being there and the tournament being there, there was like 20,000 people on the grounds there watching.
Wow.
Foo Fighters or somebody ridiculously good was playing. It was one of the biggest parties I've ever seen in my entire life.
Let me ask you golf guys this. I always bring this up. You know, on a Saturday afternoon before the Super Bowl, golf is trending and it has nothing to do with Tiger or anyone like with a huge name. Why can't more galleries be like what they have in Phoenix? Why can't you make it more fun?
But not every stadium. That's a stadium course. Those were specifically designed by the tour to get all those. Not every course can handle 100,000 people going in and out. They just they don't. Most courses can't handle that kind of logistics. I mean,
but Carm, like you have to be so proper at a golf fucking event. Why can't why can't they be more like the Ryder Cup or what they have in Phoenix? It would make golf more mainstream, I think.
I'm with Silvy. Silvy's 100% right.
Yeah. I thought you meant the amount of people. Yeah, no, they could. You could do a little bit more of that. I don't know why it's exclusive to basically two events, the Waste Management and the Ryder Cup. I'm not sure. I don't know that all golfers would embrace that. It is a little bit stuffy.
Too fucking bad.
I think, Carlo, I think it's evolved. I don't think it's nearly as stuffy today as it was several years ago. I think actually the vast majority of the players would probably embrace it, especially if there was additional revenue attached to it, which I guess, obviously you could find a way to make that happen because it would be more mainstream.
They need something because they're going to struggle without Tiger.
I agree. I think, though, that the atmosphere you saw yesterday makes the game more approachable for everybody. I think it's not as intimidating when it's like that. That's why I think it should be that way more often.
It's not as stuffy.
Sure.
By the way, at this point, do they even take the grandstands around?
I don't think so.
I mean, it's unbelievable the size and scope of that, right? They can't take it.
I wouldn't think that encasement on 16 is enormous.
It's absolutely amazing.
Like in the party that was there last night, epic.
Yeah.
Oh, epic. You were there, right? I mean, what is it like, the party?
It's one of the most insane. It's like I mean, it's like Mardi Gras in New Orleans, but in a warm climate, in a nice spot.
That's awesome.
Okay, so how are we not taking all our shows next year? The Super Bowl and the golf event on the same weekend, both in Phoenix.
Okay.
Let's do it.
The show house. We rent the show house,
Yes.
and we do it from the beginning of February through the end of March. And we go down there for 2 months, and we cover the Super Bowl, we cover that waste management, and then we cover pitchers and catchers. Hopefully, that fucking bullshit will be, settled by then. And then we all go and we do our shows in Arizona at spring training from the White Sox.
That'd be
I love
awesome.
it.
I will drink Scottsdale Dry. Marley's will never have. They won't have any more drinks left at Marley's.
Is that still open, Hoodie?
Oh yeah, he's got 3 locations. I've been in all 3.
I'll be in your sidecar.
They've got my money yet. All of Marley's, all 3 locations.
Oh my gosh,
You can make
that'd
it.
be amazing. We
It's
could
a
do
great
that.
venue. It's a great place for a Super Bowl. There's enough space.
Oh yeah.
There's enough to do. Like, and that I'm telling you, that tournament and that party the night after or the night before is just insane.
By the way, you know who NFL Network's having on now, all decked out in Rams gear? Clayton Kershaw, because he was high school teammates of Matt Stafford.
No, you're
No
kidding.
way.
What do you mean?
Serious?
They were high school teammates.
No, that's not.
No, they met when Stafford was with Detroit and Kershaw was with LA, right? Because they were pros.
No, hold on.
Is that right?
Oh, hold on. Let's
Busting his balls.
How many screens you got going there, Cap? Like what? How are you watching everything so
1,
well?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Screen.
Holy Lord, that's amazing.
I don't even have enough wall space for 7.
Right? Same.
17.
We don't even have that many in here at ABC 7.
Yeah, where are you at work, Dion?
I am.
Wow.
I came in because I wanted to be settled here for this moment with you boys, and so when I have to work, it's like let's just go and get started. So
Yeah, Sylvie.
Ask Cap if
Sylvie,
he's- what's
they
funny,
played on the same youth soccer, baseball, football, basketball, freshman football, 2 years of varsity baseball. Both graduated in the same year from Highland Park
No
High
kidding.
School.
That's wrong, Cap. That's wrong.
Huh?
I don't think that's.
I'm reading.
I've never heard that before.
It's wrong.
I love when you guys argue. It's the best.
I'm
Just
reading the
best.
article.
This was we had this conversation before you joined us. That
Yeah.
you're going to.
We always joke.
What you read 100 times before the night's out.
Yeah, we always joke that and Abdallah and Black have always talked about that for 10 years. Like they constantly fucking tell you that these 2 guys went to high school together.
Right.
We joke that we've never heard it. And we already did it in the first hour of the show where we're like, no, really? And Carmen even said to me, Sylvie, you didn't know that?
Oh my God.
Well, no, at first I knew, but Sylvie then actually said something. I thought, wait, does he really not know that? You sold it pretty well as we were continuing to go on. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You don't know that?
Everybody knows. It's like for me going to Southern, whenever we get our little taste of the NCAA tournament. Hey,
Sylvie.
by the way, did you know it's an Egyptian hunting dog? Oh, it's a dog? No.
Get right out of town.
Hey, Carm, what do you think of Matt Stafford to score the first touchdown of the game?
To score?
MGM just put out a tweet. BetMGM has just taken a $10,000 wager at 66-1. Matt Stafford first TD.
I was going to say that's got to be super long odds too.
66-1.
I mean, it's worth $10. Why not?
Waddle makes big money. Maybe he'll do it. What do you think, Tommy?
Why don't I put a C note on that?
I bet $5 increments. I have 10 bets currently in play.
You guys, I've never done it.
My biggest is a $40 bet on the Rams -4.
Dion, you've never bet?
Not on anything ever. No.
Really?
You got to download DraftKings now.
Are you American? Are you like human?
I am. I just am nervous about it, I guess. I don't know.
Can I
But
give
it
you
sounds wonderful. Who's going to guide me through this? I've never done it before. Like not
have
ever.
have your kids gamble with you. It brings the family together.
That sounds like fun dinner conversation.
And speaking of that, is this good or bad? So my nephew who is 14 texted me, and he said, "Would you place a $20 bet for me? My dad said he'll pay you. 4-leg parlay, Bengals money line, T. Higgins anytime touchdown, Cooper Kupp anytime touchdown, Jamar Chase anytime touchdown. I mean, like, he's 14 and he wants me to make a bet.
Wow.
Right? I got to make a bet for him.
How much does it pay, Carm?
I don't know what it'll pay. I got to put it in. He just asked me to do it because my brother doesn't gamble, and so
Hold on, I'm going to bring it on.
He doesn't
I'm
have
going to bring it
account.
up here on points, but that
I don't totally know what
Your
that
brother
means.
doesn't gamble, Carm? Is he adopted?
Neither one of my brothers do. I got my grandfather was a pretty big gambler and a card player and gambler. I got it from him. They somehow it skipped them. Yeah.
How do you guys like this play? This is my favorite play for and Dion. I bet $5 or $10. I don't.
Okay.
As I've always said, the terrible feeling you get from losing supersedes any type of joy you get from winning. I have. This is a plus 125 parlay. Bengals over 19.5 points parlayed with Rams over 23.5 points. So it's the total, but if you think that the Bengals can score 20 and that the Rams can score 24, I mean, it's better than you getting, one plus 125.
Okay.
Carm, what was it? Cooper Kupp anytime.
I think I understand that.
I got to put it in my. I'm going to put it in my app.
Here, I'm doing it. What is the?
He wants to do. Bengals money line.
Yeah.
Higgins anytime score. Kupp anytime score. Jamar Chase anytime score.
14-1.
Okay, so he wants.
I like it.
I'll put it in for him.
Jordan Cornette called me. He's at the Super Bowl and said that he believes the Bengals will win by at least 2 touchdowns.
Well, he's a Bengals fan.
Yeah.
Wow, that is bold. That's
Go
bold.
figure.
Well, what did you expect him to say?
Hey,
I did not think he'd go that big. I thought he'd say they'd win.
Carm, what's your biggest play on the day?
For me or Carm?
Well, Carm.
My biggest one, I'd have to go back and look. It's probably first. I think the most I have on any single bet is first score for the Bengals being a field goal.
Okay.
Because I got it at like plus 125, I want to say. I'd have to go back and look real quick.
That's really good, actually. That sounds.
Yeah.
I would think the Rams would score first. The Bengals, their first opportunity offensively, there'd be a field goal. That sounds good.
I have over 2 field goals in the game for the Bengals. I mean, he's got 12 field goals in 3 playoff games.
Yeah.
So half.
But you don't like kickers. You hate fucking kickers.
But I mean, hey, sometimes you got to go with what you think what is going to, the good things that are going to happen in the game. You got to handicap it. Despite what your heart tells you, use your head. So
the play that I keep giving on the air, Carm, I don't know if you went with it because I don't think you and I have talked about it. Unless we did on Crosstalk on Hinge. My buddy Jeremy, who lives across the street, sent me the article that they wrote about it. The last 18 of 20 first kickoffs have been returned, have not gone for a touchback.
Oh, that's good.
And a year ago, McAfee, as a kicker, he was a kickoff guy and obviously a punter, told the story. The reason to that is the K-ball that they use does not get worked in because they take the first K-ball and they send it to the Hall of Fame as the ball that kicked off the beginning of the Super Bowl. So it's usually not as worked in and doesn't go as far. Plus, because the returner is usually juiced up wanting to make a return, he's more likely to take it out of the end zone. So I put a few bucks down on the first kickoff not being a touchback.
I'm going to jump on that. And I tell you, for the ridiculous number of hours I spent the last 2 weeks, I did not think about that. And I never came across that nugget.
Yeah,
all the research I did. That's really good. I'm going to
play that,
Sylvie, isn't it like minus 120? What is is it minus 120?
I got to double check to see. It may have been basically even money. I'm not sure. Let me look on DraftKings to see what I got it at.
I'm going to play that. I just played Matthew Stafford anytime touchdown 7-1.
What?
To score. He's got to score.
Touchdown.
Okay.
Plus 700.
I really need like a class. It all sounds like gibberish. I mean, it doesn't. I know the words, but I just don't know what it all means.
Carmen does a weekly class.
Gambling 101. Does somebody do that?
It's really not like a gambling 101. It's just we talk about like the games that are happening.
Woody, your favorite bet on the board?
We should do more of that.
I don't have it in front of me, Cap, but I I told you, like I love the Rams, and I told you about those exotic bets. That's what I'm looking at first. I'm going the over on the Anthem.
Over on the Anthem.
Over on the Anthem.
I know. I think Furman likes that too. I think a lot of the sharp guys like the over on the Anthem. I mean, I don't know how the sharp guy. Who the hell knows? But
is there an Anthem sharp guy?
I mean, really, I've heard that a bunch of the sharps like that play. They like the over in the Anthem.
It's a sister,
one for you.
It's
guy
a
went to top.
It's a sister singing country. It's going over.
Hoodie, I saw her do an interview too recently because I do watch CMT.
Yeah.
And she said that she normally, when she's asked to sing the national anthem, she does it quickly. And she said in the interview that she is actually practicing to make it a slower presentation.
Mm-hmm.
So like she gave you a little, well, I thought she was giving a little insight into how she was actually going to sing it.
A guy I went to college with, scouts in the league, he texted me and then called and said the Bengals are practicing a jet sweep to Jamar Chase.
I have
that too.
I have
5.5 yards rushing, so I went over.
I'm on that too. Yeah, the Jamar Chase rushing.
That one. We all have.
Waddle, to answer your question, the kickoff not being a touchback, I got it at plus 110. I don't know what it's at right now.
That's awesome.
So
that's good.
And then Carm Cap, you guys, what do you guys think about this bet? I told Waddle this earlier. I just put $5. It's one of my smaller bets. $5 down on the Bengals to be the first team to challenge a play, because I feel like Sean McVay is going to be a little bit scarred from what happened last week.
That's funny.
That's a good play.
Why not? It's worth $10, Sylvie.
Right, it's fun.
That's
you know.
Fun. Hey, Sean, don't start the fourth quarter of the biggest game of your life with no challenges and no timeouts. FYI.
A couple of these like yes, no questions, like Odell Beckham Jr. over 99.5 receiving yards. Like it's no for me, but I like Beckham and T. Higgins, the over 1.5 combined touchdowns. It's like these little things that kind of build towards something. Like right now, Cap, I've got 3 college basketball games on now, so I'm kind of like building my kitty to these Super Bowl prop bets.
Bingo.
Because as Purdue's having a hard time with Maryland right now, I'm a little nervous.
I just want to see the halftime show. I'm really excited about the halftime show, like inappropriately excited.
They're always great.
It was a good create. I mean, I think it's a pretty good list of performers, though. I mean,
the other night I did this whole deep dive because I watched the trailer and I'm like, oh, let me listen to all these guys. And it was like one hit after another. It's amazing. It's like what I grew up with. Like, I'm very excited. Very excited.
All right. Enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody. I got another load to do.
I got to go finish my bean.
You're the best, Hoodie.
Oh, have fun, Hoodie.
How is load? I can hear it. Oh, there it is.
I'm going to roll. I think my kids are all here now.
I got to go finish my bean dip.
What's in your bean dip? What do you do to a bean dip?
I should give you guys this recipe. You'll take this to a party. You'll be the fucking hit of the party. Oh, but you don't like bean dip?
No, I do, but I'm not making bean dip for a party.
Oh, so take like navy beans or cannelloni beans. So it's beans. Don't buy the ones in the can. Like buy raw beans. You got to cook it. Then you put it. You simmer them for like an hour and a half, 2 hours in water with some fresh garlic and thyme and bay leaf. Okay, when they're soft and tender, you strain them. Save a little bit of that water. Put the garlic, the beans, and like a little bit of the water in a food processor. Salt, pepper, olive oil. Blend it together, and then you make this parsley oil. So you take fresh parsley, red chili flake, little bit of garlic, salt, pepper, olive oil, and blend it up. And then put it in your bowl, your bean dip, make a well, and pour the parsley oil in, and it's fucking fabulous. It'll knock your socks off. Everybody at this, you'll be the hit of the party. I take it every party I go to, people are like, this is unbelievable.
Hoodie's adding Downey to it.
Hoodie, put a little Downey in the middle.
And a little dash of Downey will do
Just
it.
a little bit of
All right, you guys,
Soften it up.
Enjoy. I'm out.
See you guys.
Take care.
Bye, guys. Enjoy the day.
Bye, Dion.
Everyone's leaving us.
Are we all leaving
once.
right now?
You're all fucking leaving us at once.
I'm trying to put this parlay. Higgins.
I want the bean dip recipe. I only heard half of it because I kept looking at the Downey bottle. Like,
It's unbelievable. I'm telling you.
I need to
By the
try.
way,
Carm,
It was a party.
hook me up.
It's fucking unbelievable.
Dion, are you working till 10?
11, actually, yes.
What is it like doing a sportscast while the Super Bowl is going on?
We pretend it's not happening.
You really, you like?
We do, because it's like, if people really care, they're watching that. I'm not going to be like, hey, look over at that other network that will not be named and watch the biggest game that everybody's already watching.
Do
If
you
they care
think,
that much,
Dion,
they're
if
watching
you
the Super
gave
Bowl.
like a fake report that people would notice? Like if you were just like,
wonder
here's some footage from pitchers and
The
catchers
score is
today.
70-0. The Bengals are up.
And just like, no one's watching this. So
No
like,
one's
hey,
watching
what's
me.
going on?
5 minutes in.
That's hilarious.
It's not even the Friends and Family show. Like, literally no one watches us, because my sportscast is at 5:22 or whatever. Like,
I
nobody's
had years worth of doing that. When I would go to Bristol for 5 years, I would be doing the Sports Center on ESPN2 in the window that had the afternoon games. So coming up at 3:30, Tom Waddle and Lisa Kearney break down the early game. Like, nobody's watching that show. Nobody's watching the afternoon game. It was like used television for us. I did it for five years.
Yeah. We just try to ignore it in the moment. I mean, thank God we have stuff to talk about today, like Northwestern and Illinois playing and Loyola and stuff. Like, we'll just, we'll do basketball instead of football in the first show.
Perfect.
And then we have a station potluck, which is my favorite thing.
Oh, that's
I love
pretty
when
cool.
we do that. Yeah.
What did you next year? Yeah, next year bring the bean dip.
I'm going to.
Bring the bean
I'm going. It really sounds really delicious.
I'm
Like
telling
right
you,
up my alley.
It's the best.
Okay. I need the recipe.
What did you?
What do we have?
Carm, I will say this, having married into an Italian family, the greatest kind of like food that I was introduced to was shell beans with olive oil and garlic and a hint of like vinegar.
Yeah.
Like they get these shell beans, they soak them for like a day.
Yeah.
Then they get them out.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like the whole process is unbelievable, but the actual food itself, the beans,
you dip some bread in there and the bean.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
We taught the world how to eat Italian.
Yes, you did.
What can I say? I'm gonna go finish my dip. You guys have fun.
Okay, see you, Carm.
You said dip, right?
I said dip.
Said
Yeah.
dip. You finish your dip.
I mean, new riff, baby. Go get a bottle before the game, quick. All right, go to bed.
Is that what you're drinking during the game? Is that?
Well, I was explaining. Maybe you stepped away, Sylvie, because this is like they're in Kentucky, but they're just south of the river, and they're a big like Cincinnati
down by the river.
Very, very proud Cincinnati heritage with New Riff. Yeah, they're just on the other. What's on the other side, Tommy? Covington.
Covington,
Covington.
They're in Covington so that they can. I think they want to distill there so they can be Kentucky bourbon, but they've got a proud heritage in Cincinnati. So this will be the drink of choice for the Bengals.
Nice.
All right.
All right, Carm, enjoy.
Hi, guys. Black Abdallah, Dion, see you guys. Enjoy the game, everyone.
See you
So,
guys.
Dion, are you leaving too, or are you going to stay to the end? Because I know you got such a hard script to work on.
I do. There's so many things to talk about. I can stay
Everybody's
till the
watching.
end. I just want to make sure I'm contributing and not just listening in. Although it is fun to just listen in.
I got to say this, the story of the day for me so far, unfortunately, and I didn't know it because I've been hungover all day, was the issue with Zach. I knew he didn't play last night, but the fact that he is going to see someone for his game in LA, that to me is the story of the day.
That's huge. It's huge. And it would be devastating. This team cannot get it together, and they have all the pieces. And the one thing that I realized yesterday, Meller and I talked about it a little bit, is just how fast AK has earned our trust.
Yeah.
Like I didn't question him when he didn't do anything on trade deadline day. I was like, all right, I believe it. I mean, that happened so fast, right?
Yes.
As opposed to the other GMs in this town, all we do is question what they do. And I just am impressed with that. So.
Anybody, Dion, who says that we don't give these guys credit or like trust, like in a year and a half, he showed us. We're like, okay,
totally.
Just give a little success. That's all we're asking for. Nobody's haters.
Right?
Do some work, and we're like, hey, you do it. You know more than us.
Do you.
Yeah.
Be you.
Yeah. No, don't. Too early. Too soon.
Too soon.
All
Oh,
right,
so
so
did you go?
Dion, you have a potluck at work. What are the spreads around?
Well,
what do you guys
I mean, this is not a surprise. I always bring the veggie tray. I am the potluck buzzkill. I bring the veggie tray, and I bring enough for like an army, knowing I'm probably the only one eating the vegetables. Maybe a few, but whatever. That's so there's a lot of hummus. There's a lot of sometimes we've had Ravi Beshwal is really good friends with someone who often will send loads of wings for us. I mean, just knows that we're here doing that. Although we haven't had one since COVID, so it's been a couple of years, but he will always bring that. Sometimes people make chili or like a crock pot of something. We don't mess around. It's good stuff. It's not all just like pre-bought and brought in, you know.
What's on your veggie tray? Is it cauliflower?
I'm looking at it. Cauliflower, broccoli, cucumbers, carrots, peppers, tomatoes, and hummus.
That's a good one. Yeah.
What does
Larry?
it say? Help.
Sylvie, what does your spread look like?
So I honestly, like, people always say to me, do you guys really eat it? Like, this is like, we're stocked to about 5. And then once we get to about 2, then we'll go to the store and get 3 or 4 more, and we go to 5 or 6. And
it really is great.
It's really good. Yeah.
So, and thank you to them for being the presenting sponsor, but it's something that we have. And then we're going to order in some pasta, a little calamari as well. That's my favorite appetizer. Bean dips are good. If I could have any appetizer anytime, fried calamari is always what I choose to have.
Sometimes, Vicky, when you get delivery, you can never guarantee it come crunchy.
No, you're right. It's got to be good stuff, and sometimes it doesn't travel well. Like French fries don't travel well carry-out wise. It's never worth the calories, if you ask me, the French fry, because like the point in a restaurant having great hot French fries, it's the best thing in the world. But when they travel, they are no good.
Yeah.
Okay, so since you're ordering in, what's your timeline here? Because you got to plan this out. You can't order at like 5:15 because you'll get there in time.
No, there's stages here. I think there are different stages of the day. This goes in soon. Like, this will be our sort of pregame thing. Yeah, exactly. And then I'm gonna have a Bloody Mary. I think my wife's got vegetables too. You know, Allie, Dion. So she'll have some vegetables cut up and everything like that. We'll have some pizza for the kids. Then we'll order. I think my wife picks it up at about 4:45-ish. Somewhere in that area. And then like dessert, she's already made her famous Rice Krispie Oreo cookie dessert, which she does. She does cookies really well, but the Rice Krispie treats with Oreo cookies in them make it way better. Like, it's like Rice Krispie bars on steroids.
Waddle, what do you got?
That's awesome.
Right now, I'm waiting for my wife to go to the grocery store to pick up some beer. I only had 1 beer left in my fridge outside. My fridge is traditionally packed, but I've got an 18-year-old who had some friends over the house last night. Nobody was driving, but my stash got raided.
Maybe we don't put that out there, Tom.
I think it just did.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, it is. Nobody was in trouble. They were all here, but
we'll edit it out in post. Don't worry.
No, you won't. And I don't care if you don't. Like, I mean, we're all going to pretend like we didn't do things when we were kids. Come on now.
Right.
So we'll have pizza. We'll have some wings. We'll have some drinks. It won't be like it normally is. Dion, you've got to come to one of our Super Bowl parties.
I would love it.
Here we'll have it. And, it's usually a brilliant spread. And
Dion, in the past, we've always tried to convince ABC to do the news from the party.
Yeah.
Correct. This would be major goals that I would love to help achieve.
Do the sports report from my office.
Next year.
Yeah.
We actually talked to Larry about doing that one year because Giangreco's always here for it.
Of course.
But yeah, we'll do that.
Abdallah, what do you have?
Well, I got to get over this hangover. So I already
eat.
Well, yeah, I already had a bunch of pancakes. I got food delivered from a diner like 3 blocks away just because I'm lazy and didn't want to walk there. And then we'll do some pizza. Also, we've got a couple Connie's frozen pizzas in the freezer that we'll cook up, and then I got a box of Girl Scout, not one box, but like a box of boxes of Girl Scout cookies delivered the other day. So those will be, I'll eat at least probably 2 boxes worth of Girl Scout cookies.
Oh my God, really?
What?
They're small. I mean, like
I'm with you.
I mean,
Yeah.
they get smaller every year. Like the caramel delights
Are
or whatever
they
they're
so-
called now. They're
Yeah.
like the size of a quarter.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
they're not even
depressing. I
big.
haven't had Girl
They're
Scout
one
cookies.
bite now.
What are the mint ones? That's my favorite. Thin mints.
Thin mints.
Thin mints.
Those are
Yeah,
the
those
best,
are the
yeah.
same size. They're like this big around. It's
Yeah,
nothing.
they are small. They are small. Yeah, yeah.
I
Good in the
love
freezer.
like it's an argument my wife and I always have. I saw Ben and Jerry's tweeted something out that they got Chance the Rapper. He's got his own flavor now. I think it's like the chocolate chip mint. I love
it.
mint ice cream, chocolate chip mint. Any of that
Same.
with peppermint ice cream is awesome. But my wife hates anything minty ice cream or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. Minty and
Dion,
cold,
I don't
love
know
it.
that we ever asked. What was your prediction for the game?
I want the Bengals to win so badly. I just desperately do. And I kind of like their momentum. I think they'll win. I think it'll be super close, but I do think that they'll win.
Really?
If he can avoid getting sacked. I mean, not that mattered earlier in the postseason, but I haven't really thought a ton about it because I don't really care. I mean, I want a good game, but it's inconsequential to me. I don't care.
Right.
Maybe if I started betting, I would care more.
Yeah, you would definitely. Chris, did you ever make I forget. I mean, my brain doesn't work very well. What was your final score for this one?
Final score, I would say something like 28-24 Rams, but I think the Bengals keep it close. I bet on the Bengals, so that's the team I'm gambling on. I'm gambling on the Bengals with the number. I got 4.5. We talked on Like It Love It. It was 4 at the moment. When I went to place a bet, it's 4.5. So
good
right there. I'm taking the Rams -1 in the first quarter. I think the Rams get off to a hot start. And then I have Joe Burrow over completions in 24.5.
Nice.
So
I
I think a lot of short passes, and they're going to move the ball on the Rams. They're going to score, but
Yeah.
I don't think they win in the end.
Sylvia, you and I have the same score, right? 31-24 Rams.
Yeah, I thought earlier in the week you went 31-23. Did you change recently?
I don't think so. I may have. I think
Yeah.
it was a touchdown.
Yeah,
I'm
we have
debating
this.
this ever since we did Like It Love It. I'm debating asking if I want to change my official pick to Rams -4. The more I look at this, like the last couple of days, I'm like, there's no. And then I saw this dude, Joe Burrow, just walked in dressed as a tiger. Have you guys seen this? Have you seen
No.
it? He walked
No
in the suit.
way.
He's wearing like a suit that's black and gray, and it looked like it was had tiger stripes on it.
Oh my gosh.
If he wins
I have
this
to
game,
find I have to find this.
I don't like official pick change. Switch it. I'm switching it. Rams -4. I'm switching it.
I love that.
Rams -4. I'm
You're
doing it.
weak-minded. You can't give in.
No, Rams -4.
do you know the endorsements he's going to get? He's going to get endorsements no matter what. But if he wins this game,
Oh my
how
gosh.
rich he's going to get in just his second year, it's incredible.
Oh, I see it, Abdallah. He also has a funny hat.
Yeah, Rams -4. Rams
No,
-4.
Dude, you are so.
But-
You got to go with the
Adam,
swag.
what was the bet that we made as soon as
So
somebody
it was
winked? What was the wink
Oklahoma
bet?
against it was Baker against Goff. It was Oklahoma, and I was in
Oh,
Vegas, and we were watching. I was putting in. This is before you could gamble legally on apps, and I was making bets for Waddle while I was in Vegas. And every once in a while, I would get a text message, and it was like, give me Oregon this, or give me, whatever it was. And he's on the phone with me, and he's like, all right, I got to get this bet in for this game. What should I do? I'm like, did Goff just wink at the camera? He goes, yeah, he did. Everything on Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Fuck this kid.
And we won.
This is awful. And we won. It was great.
Yeah. It was the wink bet.
Oh my god.
That is awesome.
So official pick, Rams -4. I don't like. He's too confident. He's too cocky.
That is great.
Dude,
Dion,
you're
thank you
so
for joining
flawed.
us.
That's flawed logic, man.
Mm-mm.
I like it.
I
either
want to
way.
know how all the bets play out. I want to know how much money you guys end up winning.
We're all going to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's basically why. That's why the DraftKings is awesome. That they're so rich because we all lose. That's
You
why.
all lose. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Dion, thank
That's not
you for joining us.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you,
I'm
Dee.
happy to do it anytime, guys. Great to see
We
you.
appreciate it.
Enjoy the day.
Dion Miller, not only from ABC7, but also from ESPN 1000. Her new show is Saturday mornings, right after the hockey show at 11 a.m. and sometimes with Peggy Kaczynski. I want to thank Connie's Frozen Pizza, our presenting sponsor and partner, and they're true partners with us on the Waddle and Silvy Show, the official pizza of Waddle and Silvy. Get it at Jewel, Osco, Mariano's, wherever you shop. And Tony's Fresh Market just did a huge promotion on them. I think you can get them there as well. Thank you to your local Chicagoland Toyota dealers. I just saw their display, the new Tundra, at the auto show. And of course, DraftKings, America's top-rated daily fantasy app. Download DraftKings app right now today and use our promo code WMVP to get in on all the action. You'll get the special deals. Waddle and I, not only are they great with fantasy, Waddle and I have said that we believe that they've got the best boosts in the business. It's like going and getting the best sale prices on stuff. I just scroll through some of the odds boosts. I'm like, oh, I didn't think about this. And then I'll put a few bucks down on that. And next thing you know, I made $10 extra because of that.
I think the Lamar Chase over 3.5 yards rushing was one of those.
Yes. I never would have thought of that, Waddle. And they boosted it. And I'm like, okay, now something else to root for today.
Against Kansas City, they definitely put him in the jet sweep, right?
Yeah.
They did that a lot.
Yeah.
Again, I think also both these quarterbacks may be on the run today, and that's why I put a little money down on their rushing totals as well. So.
Thanks to everyone at ESPN 1000, and thanks, of course, to Travis Wacker. He set this all up. Our marketing team, Jay Cutler, Barstool Big Cat, our partners. Thank you to all the fans who tuned in today, going out of their way on it. It's a pretty nice Sunday. It's cold as fuck, but thank you for joining us on Twitch. You can join us always on Twitch on our of all local shows. Cap and J Hood, 7 a.m. Carmen and Yurko, 10 a.m. Waddle and Silvy at 2 p.m. and Black and Abdallah at 6 p.m. So it's twitch.tv/ESPN 1000 Chicago. But you know that, or else you wouldn't be fucking watching us right now. Someone actually asked Waddle too. Like, I opened it up for questions, and then as soon as they saw Big Dollar Dave ask, can you show me where the bed is, where the accident happened? I'm like, okay, I'm not opening it up for fucking questions because that was creepy, and my wife would kill me.
Yeah, don't do that.
Well, on that note, enjoy the Super Bowl, guys.
Enjoy. See you, fellas.
See everybody.